All right, so let's get into the vibes. What you got going on, bro?
It's been an actual soulful vibes for me
Okay.
this time around, right?
Okay, I'm feeling that.
Um, so first up is Durand Jones, right? And
Hmm.
the Indications. So the band is called The Indications, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so, but the album, I don't even know if they're really on the album,
Hmm.
the his full band, but it's just called the album is just called Wait Till I Get Over, and it just
So
says
so
Durand
when you say
Jones.
a band, you're not talking about a boy band, right? You're talking about like a legitimate band.
Yeah, like a Jibbin, like the way the Roots is, you know what I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
or
Okay.
with Black Thought,
Hmm.
with the Roots, you talking about the
Yeah.
Roots is what so like or Gladys Knight and the Pips, you know what I mean, or
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like that, and so or even Bruno Mars has his band. I don't what's the name
Yeah.
of those
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah. I'm
I
not sure.
forgot. I forgot.
I didn't know he had a name for his
Yeah,
band though. I
there's
thought
a
it was
band.
just
I
his band.
forgot they have a name, but either way, the
Okay.
Indications is what Durand Jones's band is called, and so
Okay.
he's the I guess you would call the front man for the band,
Mhm.
and you're listening to it, and man, it's so soulful. There's this thing that he's doing that apparently it's a thing. I didn't know this was a thing that was going on.
Mhm.
They have I don't know if it's collective, but there are artists that are soul revivalists as sort of an identity, where it's like they want
Okay.
to make music like that sort of style from back
Mm-hmm.
then, but they want to make new music in that same style.
I think so. Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like somebody making a new classical music song,
Mm-hmm.
classical song, writing a new, like, it's that style from back then,
Mm-hmm.
some Baroque era, but they're going to write a new Baroque music sheet or something, whatever,
Mm.
what do they call that, right? And so,
I'm not gonna lie. When you said Baroque, I initially thought you were actually saying Baroque. Like
that
I was
broke
like,
ass classical shit,
why is he emphasizing the Baroque part so
that broke
much?
classic shit ain't got no bam to it. That but it got
kind of
no
like in
808.
Family Guy, kind of like in Family Guy when like when
Are you
Tony
saying
was talking
whip?
to,
You saying
he
whip?
said,
Whip?
"Why so much emphasis on H?"
What's with that? No, but I said Baroque. But either
Baroque.
way, so like the soul music from back in the day, and so like they want to make um songs that are okay. So what we had happen happened maybe early 2000s. It was like a new onset sound of neo soul, right? Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
had your neo soul music, and so who's neo soul would
Like
be,
Jill Scott,
yeah, Jill
India
Scott,
Irie.
your D'Angelo's,
Yeah.
Music Soul Child.
So
This
child,
this
yeah.
was neo soul,
Yeah.
so it was like it was still it's
Anthony
soul music.
Hamilton.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But this was soulful music, but it's it's a new wave. The way the rhyme scheme, maybe,
Mhm.
the musical notes and tones that are used, what I mean, the type of verbiage that's being, bro, this shit sounds, some of these tracks on this album sound like fucking revolutionary stuff, like
Interesting.
on the plantation, singing along, trying to like map out the fucking stars on how we gonna escape kind of songs.
Like Negro spiritual kind of
Negro
sound?
spiritual kind type of shit, dog.
Wow.
That's what he's
Wow.
coming with some of these
Okay.
some of these tracks, and
Hmm.
so by them making the distinction of it being retro soul, so having this the being fashioned after that sound from back then, it could even
Hmm.
be probably on vinyl with some
Hmm.
cracks on there maybe when they release it.
Yeah.
They it makes it even more emphasized that it sounds like revolutionary kind of like type of music. It could be like, damn,
Mm.
this could have been from back then,
Yeah.
as that. So I appreciate that somebody's trying to keep that genre alive. But side note, coming from an atheist, I do want to acknowledge that the church has definitely been instrumental in Black liberation.
Yep.
It's done a
Yep.
lot of damage. I spoke about that the other time before a while ago about how you know, some slaves got it beat into their head, you know, that obey your master shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
some
Misuse the
slaves
masters.
early on
Mhm.
did not have those. They had African traditions. They had African deity that they acknowledged, that they worshipped. They lost all that. They got beat out of them, and they got a Christian god. You know, so and then that got passed on to their kids and their kids and their kids and on and on.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of, but in terms of the church as a community, um, we have a lot of these artists that, you know, especially during that era, you know, this the original soul era, um, they started off in the church.
Yeah. A lot of them came from the church. Yeah.
This is how we got, you know, folks like James Brown, you know, and
Michael
um,
Jackson, Whitney
Ella
Houston,
Fitzgerald, you know, all these
Fitzgerald.
people, like they
Yeah.
started off in the church and
Yep.
they were singing in the church,
Yeah.
and now you have the neo soul singers that you, well, not now, but that genre of folks that they you know, they weren't the start of it, but they completely went secular
Mhm.
to sell. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? To sell records, they completely went secular to sell the
Yeah.
records. But all of that is, man, the church was like the start and like the breeding ground for Black liberation, Black excellence, and like these people were together like teaching people to read and skills training and all stuff, and
Mhm.
as a place to unite and come together and like strategize. It was
Church is a
all
community for sure. It is a community.
it was all there.
Yeah.
And for the sound of what we listen to with soul music,
Hmm.
it came from the church. It's
Yep.
literally
A lot of it.
some
Yeah.
sounds like it sounds like gospel.
Hmm.
Even if they were talking about drinking liquor and like freaking partying on a Saturday night down by in the bayou or some shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But it's like you took church sounds, you know, and like you made it secular, and then the
Yeah.
evolution came to where we have, you know, the Kelly Rowlands and, you know, the Erica Badu's and all. So that's pretty much
Yeah.
not church music
Yeah.
anymore. Or anything like that.
Mhm.
So, but like these guys, this guy Durand Jones is retro soul. So I have never heard of the genre before, but he's and there's other cats like him too that are making music like that. I know. I think the band. This I think it might be Stephen Colbert's band.
Mm.
Is it John Baptista? I think John Baptista. He's making kind of music like that of that ilk. I don't know if
Okay.
that's. I don't remember whose show he's on, but
Mm.
or is it John Baptiste? John Baptiste. I think it is. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. Baby Rose, again, because it's been a soulful, it's been a it's been a soulful weekend for your boy. Days her real name is Jasmine Wilson, right? Middle name Rose, and you
Hmm.
know, she just goes by Baby Rose.
Hmm.
She's from the DC area, right? And she's independent artist, but she does have a distribution deal, which is pretty much all you kind of need these days. You can create music
Yeah. Pretty
yourself.
much.
You
Yeah.
just need that. You need somebody that had the plug to be able to distribute your
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
Um, she's from the DC area.
Hmm.
Um, and man, she's dude, we talk. She's an old soul.
Mm.
She's an old soul, and her songs are they're brilliant. They're full of character. They she sounds like, I mean, maybe it might be, maybe her stuff might be a little bit more neo soul than retro soul that we just
Hmm.
learned.
Hmm.
But um it, soul music is soul music, yeah, and so she's got an off, her tone is like a little off kilter,
Mhm.
a little bit, but it's sort of the way that like is endearing, the way like Mary J. Blige's voice is endearing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You
Okay.
wouldn't say she's a singer like that. You
Mhm.
don't say she be singing,
Yeah,
but you know
maybe.
what I
Yeah,
mean? But like you
but she
like
has
her
a
music.
sound.
She has a
Yeah,
sound that
she
you
has a
kind of like.
sound
And
that
so
yeah.
that's the thing I'm getting with Baby Rose. The production is great. She has great the artistry of like weaving together the beginning, middle, and end of a song. You know, she does it masterfully, and it's good. It's dope to know that an independent artist can do that without the backing of all the engineers and all the people doing all the mixing. So she owns her masters
Mhm.
by being independent like that. And these are some good,
Yep.
songs to own
They've been to
the
some.
rights over for that. They're gonna be they're gonna go the distance.
Yeah.
A little bit more about her career though. After the release of her mixtape back in 2017, Dust Till Dawn, she gained attention by being co-signed by artists like SZA, Kalani, J. Cole. In
Mm,
2019, she had
that's some big
projects
names.
with uh, Big Crit, you know, and Dreamville on Dreamville's album. You know, I already fuck with Dreamville. We talked about them
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah.
You know, and so she has some collabos with them on there.
Dreamville is dope. Yeah.
She went on the Shea Butter tour with Ari Lennox, and
Okay.
the debut album was in 2019. But you know,
Uh-huh.
she's another person that was you know had a song on Insecure.
Yeah.
So whoever the music talent you know
Man.
scout is out there in Insecure, you know what I mean, they
Yeah.
really hit us with some bangers and some people to look out for
Yeah.
when the
Apparently.
show's going on. So you could shoot. There should probably be a compilation of all like those
Yeah.
because
I was wondering. I mean, it has like a soundtrack, doesn't it?
they have
So you
soundtracks
so you can
sometimes.
kind of listen.
Actually, TV shows don't usually have soundtracks. Movies do, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
movies typically do.
But
Yeah.
it do be songs that's released on a TV show that
Mm-hmm.
you can go listen to the single, but it'll be that. It'll just be that
Yeah,
one
just be the
song.
single.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't be like a soundtrack of like all the songs that they played in a particular episode. But
Mm-hmm.
you can go like if and the thing for Insecure is like it's always at the end of the show. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like they might be playing songs throughout, but like there's a featured song at the end. They go off, the freaking lights turn off, and the
Yeah.
credits roll to a particular song
The song. Yeah. Yep.
that some talent scout, some music scout identified somewhere and put it that fits whatever vibe that was going on at the ending scene of that last episode. So
Yep.
man, somebody could go and make a compilation of all of those those end episode credit songs. I think
Mm-hmm.
you'd have a pretty dope album. And Secure could
Solid.
be up for a nomination for something.
Mm.
By putting that compilation together. I mean, if somebody like you know Robert Glasper, he does the compilation of people kind of thing, or even somebody like who did this back in the day, Carlos Santana. You know, what I mean, he does a compilation kind of. He plays guitar throughout, but
Yep.
he has a bunch of different artists come in and do like a compilation, and he could win
Mm.
some. It would be nominated for album of the year and stuff. So I think Insecure could do something like that. You know, so that's pretty dope for they to do that.
Kind of sound like. I mean, because the past couple of artists that you mentioned had a song on Insecure.
It
Yeah.
went through. Maybe
Yeah.
Insecure could also be like almost like a kingmaker kind of thing. Like if you
Mm.
did, you know what I mean,
Mm.
if you like back in the day, if you
Yeah, that's a
did
fair point.
you know, one of these late shows that, you know, it was almost like a kingmaker thing. If you for
Mm.
example, if you went to if you used to be on the Daily Show, you know, with Jon
Mm.
Stewart, if you went
Yeah.
through the Daily Show,
That's
you know what I
true.
mean, you're probably 5 years from now, 5 years
Yep.
from then, you can see them. They probably have great careers going in TV
Yep.
somewhere, in
Yep.
movies now, or they have their own show that they're hosting or something like that through the Daily Show. It's a kingmaker type of
Yeah.
platform.
The show that's like that now, a late night show that's like that now is Jimmy Fallon. You get on Jimmy
Jimmy
Fallon,
Fallon,
yeah,
particularly if you're a comedian, for example, right? If you get to
yeah,
go
yeah,
do, you know, a good 5 minutes on one of these late night shows, you know, you can get a Netflix special out of that bitch
sure,
eventually, you know,
sure, yeah,
for sure. So, yeah, that's what's up, man. So that was that. What I said the name of the album? I didn't even say the name of the album.
yeah. I don't
So
think you said the name of the album
yeah, so
for
for
Baby Rose.
Baby Rose, it's
Yeah,
called Through and Through. And she is sounding like I said like an old soul. She gives me some Ella Fitzgerald vibes, um, you know, and
okay,
so if you miss those kinds of notes and those kinds of tones, and it's all there in those two albums. And then I did, and it made for a perfect playlist because I put both those albums together, and I hit shuffle.
You just rock out to that, yeah.
I hit shuffle and I just rock out to that bit.
Damson Idris's performance, like, it's Oscar worthy. Like, well,
it's not Oscar, it's an Emmy. It would be Emmy.
Well, actually, it would be for TV, because it's a TV series. It would be Golden Globe. It would be Golden Globe is what it would be.
An Emmy.
So, is it Emmy or Golden Globe?
Well, I mean, I think Emmy would, like, we talking about EGOT.
It's an academy. It's an academy.
Because we talking about EGOT.
I looked this up.
No, but remember, listen to me. Remember last time we talked about Jimmy Fox deserves an EGOT. Remember that was in the vibes. The E in EGOT is Emmy.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's Grammy, but that's for music.
Yeah, but that's what an EGOT is. The specific thing about becoming an EGOT.
EGOT is okay. So the G is Grammy. Okay,
G is Grammy.
Okay, before a TV series is Golden Globe.
It'll be the Emmy. But it's, yes, the go. Okay, let me take a step back and say this. There are multiple agencies and organizations that give out awards. For example, the MTV Music Awards, or the MTV Video Awards, or the People's Choice Award, right? Or the Rolling Stone Award, right? Or BET Award, BET Hip Hop Award.
Yes.
Rolling Stone, so there's these different awarding agencies. But of the most prestigious, right? It's why they created this whole term called EGOT. And even artists and actors and everything, all of them are into this notion. It's almost like winning a Nobel Prize. You know what I mean? Like, know, it's a thing. The Nobel is like that established, that's a coveted kind of distinct, what do you call it? Not destination, being distinguished.
Distinction, right?
Distinction, right? Yeah. Distinction. So the EGOT, so they trying to get an EGOT, right? This is what, if you're an actor, your goal is inevitably get an EGOT. Well, not if you're an entertainer. So this is why I'm like Jimmy Fox. Matter of fact, I think John Legend has an EGOT. You know, John Legend I think has an EGOT. Okay. Viola Davis, I'm pretty sure, yeah, she's got an EGOT. Yeah. And so the TV representation part of the EGOT would be the Emmys. So maybe he could win a Golden Globe. That'd be great. But that ain't gonna help him.
Because I'm seeing Golden Globe. I googled it, but I see what you're saying. But when I googled it, I'm seeing Golden Globes here, but I'm also seeing Emmy, and I'm also seeing a bunch of these different things too.
Well, what you saying? What is you look up?
So I put awards for best TV series, and I'm seeing.
No. Well, so we're talking past each other. Because I'm not disputing what you're saying. Yes, there are different organizations that give awards for television series. Yes. When we're talking about the EGOT status.
But the most prestigious one is EGOT. Is what you're saying.
Would be the EGOT. So
I got you.
E would be an Emmy.
Would be the Emmy. So that's what
And the G would be a Grammy. So Kanye won a Grammy. You know, Beyonce's won Grammys.
Okay, that's a good way of explaining it. Actually, I didn't think of. I mean, I knew that there were a lot of different organizations that give awards.
But these are the big four that people trying to
big four. Okay, big four is EGOT. Okay.
Yeah, because
I thought some of these were like interchangeable names, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. So I was saying
you could Google EGOT winners.
Yeah.
Or EGOT. They're not even winners because there's no like specific ceremony for any EGOT. But it's like it's like being knighted by the queen, almost. You know what I mean, or the king. You know, just like you've achieved this level, unlocked. You know what I mean, like on Xbox or something like that. You ended up with the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. You're considered one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
Yeah. No, okay. No, I mean that's understandable. Like based on how you explained it, okay, that makes sense. So there's
fucking Nickelodeon awards.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean?
But there were like some discussion that he should be nominated for like best performance of like one of the best
maybe an Emmy,
maybe even an Emmy. Yeah.
It would be an Emmy.
Talk like his performance was just, and it was. I'm gonna say it was phenomenal. I ain't gonna lie. From top to bottom, from the start of the show to the end of it.
I don't know. Season one, acting. I liked season one. I liked it. I liked it.
I'm telling you.
But it took some convince. He had to convince me for quite a few episodes.
Yeah,
They're like, okay, Franklin Saint. Okay, boom. I could take Franklin Saint serious. Like for the first half of that first season, like I was like, this nigga.
Yeah,
it's like I'm supposed to say it's like this nigga.
But season 6, he took it to a whole nother level. I'm just gonna say that.
That's dope. That's dope.
I'm gonna say that. So it's like
because it's like the thing. Because the thing is like Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Bryan Cranston. He was fucking Malcolm in the Middle's dad.
Yeah, yeah. So it took some convincing.
So he took some convincing. I was like, yo, this is when he's gonna say something funny, or when he's gonna say something, a dad joke or something like that. Like, no, he ended up becoming Walter White over time. And we had to you have to develop that trust. So, it's all development, and that's part of actually getting these awards. It's like the judges are like, this person really developed this character.
Yes.
So when like you look at this character, and this character has like a full fleshed out story, and it was the actor that was actually showing that level, that stage of that character's development, and then the next stage, and then the other stage, and you're thinking like, oh, is this person just getting better at acting over time? Yeah, they're getting more and more comfortable with the role, but part of the reason to have the continuity to see the growth is because they actually were doing a good job at acting at the start.
Yeah, in the first place.
Yeah, they learned the role a little bit better itself, and they get more into the bag. But like, they had to establish that at the front. They couldn't just throw out crap and then build off of that and have this amazing character in season 6. You know what I mean? No, this person has shown the growth, just like Bryan Cranston and Idris is in this one as well.
Yeah,
and Snowfall.
And that's a good point. It is a culmination of what he was able to basically develop as a character, as you mentioned, and really kind of gather everything that he learned through those seasons to really give us the product that he gave us in season 6. And I would say the show ended very, very strongly. I mean, very strongly. This guy's performance was amazing. And the writers are excellent too. Like it's
So shout out to the writers. They're still on strike. Right now, but this is the type of thing that you're saying that this is why we need the writers in the room. Because it makes a performance like that. And so that that's so that's part of the vibes. And I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going to look forward to watching that. If you watched it, if you have a take on how the show ended or whatever, leave it in the comments, and I'll catch up with you, and put it in the comments as well. But I'm looking forward to checking that out. Amongst the the other shows that I have a whole list of shit that I gotta.
There's a lot of shows
catch up on. Freaking video games have been taking up my other leisure time, but that was a vibe.